going. Go in the car ahead of you guys. We are under caution. There's Netta. Guys, pick up to the leader, please, as soon as you can. Got 5 cars here today with the Formula Micro Series. Jake will be the pace car driver. We got starting off in pole position will be Shuffles. I think this might be their first career pole. They only race in the micros, but they do tend to do very well with the micros. There's no taking up second place. East 951 going to be did qualify third. He'll be brought to the back due to a penalty received in the last GTI race. Third instead taken by Twin Turbo V sits as fourth place, but taken by Jason in the 20 riding machine. East will be the back of the field due to his penalty. Meanwhile, coming around for the last little sector here, Jacob will pull in. And everyone else maintains 60. We'll be watching for jumps. Don't overtaking cone. There's Shuffle back off. We're gonna just hold off. Hold up. Alright, Shuffle's way too heavy. We're gonna go another lap. We're going another lap. We are going another lap. Shuffle is going too fast. You do that again, you're gonna be dropped to the rear. So we need our cars to be close to each other when we start, not in such a case like it was with Shuffles. We'll be running the first lap under caution. It will not be a lap restart. We will have 19 laps to race and figure it out. There's now to pick up the pace. This is also Eris's part 2, is that she was also not putting on throttle. You're still too far behind Eris. I need you up. He's now 5-1 having some sort of issue. So East has hopped out of his car and needs to get by as fast as possible. This will be 2 laps under caution. If we do this again, we'll have red and I will have to know you guys for me. Seriously, East can make his way over to reset all corner cuts to 0. Nobody has a corner cut. Get back. You should be careful on cutting there, by the way, because there's a lot of cuts there. It's just there's touch time resistance. Shuffle back off. Shuffles. Right. Arrow, hold pace. Hold pace. Hold pace. Green flag. Don't overtake until you cross the line. Pretty good. Alright, around turns 1 for the first time by, you have that is Shuffles. Eris now to pick it up the ground a little bit behind her. Eris now a little more experience on this track. She's been here practically every race that there's been here since 2021 on November 2021. I think that marked the first race. They make their way up the hill now through the S's. It looks like Eris is going to get a little bit drifty there. Twin picking up ground. East 951 already by Jason, but meanwhile up for 3rd place. And actually there's Netta picking up ground on the backstretch up into the carousel. This is a lot different than other ones. There is 2 bankings. You can take the inside line or the outside line. Most drivers will prefer to take the inside, but if you do have the ability to, I actually set the line faster than all these guys right at the top. So could be worth it. Here's Eris Netta side by side for the lead with Shuffles as they make their way around turns 1 into 2. Eris Netta going to run a little bit wide. Twin there side by side almost with Shuffles for 2nd place. Make the way up the hill once again as Twin right on the wing makes a move on the inside. Eris Netta will go wide as Twin gets back to the lead. Eris going to fall back into 3rd place as Shuffle gets in a mixture there. Let's see how the cuts are looking like for Twin Triple V sits. Yeah, we'll be watching the cuts. Penalty still stands currently if it does occur, but if it looks bad, then we'll be chill. Meanwhile, a little bit of action through the banking and coming out of the banking. Shuffles was at the lead, but Twin gets it back coming through the front straightaway. And it looks like you got 3 cars battling here as Jason making his way across the line. 3 cars there. Eris Netta side by side with Twin in the mixture. With Shuffles also there as East does a drift down the hill. Great save. Eris Netta gets loose. So Shuffle goes wide. Twin currently holding off the lead. Shuffles gets loose and nearly spins out. That could be coming to clutch here for East 951. Watch those cuts, East. That was definitely deliberate. East 951 side by side for third place as it makes a move down the inside as they make their way through the banking. It taps the wall around the high side. It looks like it's going to stay ahead in third. Our battle now for the podium spot, and I think Shuffle might be gaining a little bit of speed coming into turn 2. He's got a pretty good exit going down the hill as the two of them side by side through turn 3. Up the hill now, and it looks like he's going to stick ahead of the Shuffle's gaining a little more speed up the hill as they make their way through into the S's. First chicane here, and it looks like everything is good. Shuffles gets by for third place, but East 951 not out of not out of the picture yet as they make their way into the multi-banked curve. The two of them still running side by side. East 951 taking the high line. He's an oval racer. This is what he does usually. I'd say if he'd prefer to take a top line if there's an option. He makes a move down the inside. There's Shuffle crossing over. And I think East 951 for the time being has gotten ahead of those Shuffles there right behind in the fourth place position. Picking up ground at East 951, going to get a little bit loose. They make their way up the hill, and it looks like Shuffles is now en route to get a spot back. East 951 gets very loose into the chicane. Ew, nearly flips it, but good job keeping his car in control. Unfortunately for him, that's going to cost him the podium for the time being. We're already a quarter way through the race. We've done our first 5 laps. Arizona, you can see in that pink 45 car, lag spiking through the front stretch. But we look pretty good so far. See the top 4 in that picture of the front straight, and the car's not making the way down. It looks like Aris might be picking up a little bit of ground here on Twin Turbo V6. So we're going to get a good image if possible. It looks like that ground definitely getting closing a little bit here with Arisneta. The field, as of now, pretty spread out. Check to see the time board to see how the laps look this time by. Arizona currently holds a Formula Micro lap record. I don't think it's an overall record because those old GTIs were just blisteringly fast. She gets another lag spike. Her computer having some sort of issue. But she has lost time that lap on our current leader, and she's definitely having lag issues. She could become a factor. Car currently frozen on track. I would hate to fear the worst, but it is possible. Arizona has disconnected. We're going to go under yellow flag.
DC, DC.
Yeah. Tell me when you're at your car. Alright, so Twin here gets the race back. So Twin starts slowing down. We're currently under yellow. Second place is going to go to Shuffle, since third place will go to East 951. Here he goes across the back straight.
I'm in.
Do you mean to clip it?
No, I'm there.
Great. Just route to the back, and I will get your laps. We'll be all set. Well, can't blame me for how the track is. I'm not the one who made it. In fact, actually, I had pretty much nothing to do with it, other than the final turn. Just 951 cutting back to get up. Remember, the cuts you get on caution still counts, so. Dick Harris. We will be upping the cut limit to 30 laps, or 30 cuts. Zeus 951, but isn't really up to the field. Currently waiting on Jason. We are still under caution. Jason now making his way across the line. Here's now going to give back a spot. We might be good to go green here, as there is Jason back with the field, just needs Eris to give up the spot and for East to pick up the pace. Everyone else make your way up. And we should be just about good to go green. Good. Caution. She caused a caution. So. East, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Stop shouting and just focus on the race. And she rejoined immediately afterwards. Anyways, Jake pulled in. We're gonna watch our race leader twin turbo reset to full pace. Green flag. Clear jumps. Okay, the car's making the round turn 1. It looks like East 951 trying to go side by side. Couldn't get anything to stick. Here's Arisnet making the way through, but ahead of Jason already. East 951 making a move down the inside, down the hill, but Shuffles gets it up the hill. Here they go around into the back part of the track, up the hill into the S's. It looks like East falls a little bit back. He cuts into the corner, and Shuffles holding off second place, but Arisneta picking up the ground hard on East 951. Arisneta now almost side by side. She's going to run the high lane up here. Going to carry more speed on the exit. And that allows her to get by East 951. They make their way into turn 1. As Arisneta now side by side, got a 3-car battle here, stirring up for second place. As they make their way down the hill, it looks like Shuffles ahead, but Arisneta to the inside. The two of them crossing over East 951. Don't count him back. He's right there too. As East 951 going to make a move on Arisneta, she cuts it. Gets loose and loses the spot. Arisneta there to give up the spot. You're good. There's a little cut overtake, but all set up well. She's still holding out, putting the East 951 right on the bumper to make her way around to the final curve. This is 951 trying to make a move down the inside. There's 9 again running the high line almost to the wall. She's carried more speed on that exit, and that is beneficial to her. Stays ahead of East 951. Seeming to pick a little bit of ground up here with Shuffles as they make their way around into turn 2. Two of them crossing it over. East gets a little loose. As Twin currently running away with the lead. Saris gets a little loose. Shuffles is going to stick ahead for the time being. Saris never trying to gain whatever she can back. We were halfway done with this race. It looks like Saris is gonna have to lose a little bit of time there, but the two of them now taking the inside line. There's a little bit out on the exit. Arisnet now picking up the ground. Shuffles moves down inside. Loses a bit of time. Almost lost the second place spot to Arisnet, but Arisnet hit the curb and that did not help her very much. Arisnet now back in third place. Shuffles goes a little bit wide up the hill. Arisnet picking up the ground. As they make their way into the back part of the racetrack. Eris got very loose there for some reason on the straight. And that's a bit of time lost. They now make their way around. Seemingly it's a hide at inside line. And so far the field spreads out, and I think those are the positions we might see towards the end of the race. We're closing in on 5 to go. Once Twin crosses the line here, that'll be the 5 to go mark. But Twin gets a little loose, but that could have actually been helpful in a way. Let me see how his first sector looks here. Could have been a little better, so that might have hurt just a little. As Twin making its way across the carousel, once it crosses the line, there'll be 5 laps to go for Twin here. Change Eris' laps to 14. I just noticed that, and I think Arisnetta picking up a little bit of ground on Shuffles once again, although it is in the later stages of the race already. Make the way around turn 2, going down the hill. Arisnetta closing in that gap by a good little bit here. They come up the hill now. Arisnetta now about a car length away from Shuffles. Shuffles runs a bit off Apex, but Air's gonna stay tight, so that doesn't help exactly very well. Arisnetta is still running around the inside, side by side, for second place, down the back straight into the carousel. I think Arisnetta is going to get second place back. She was trying to run the high line, but she dives back inside. That did work very well with the GTIs last year. And it seems to work pretty well with these cars as well. As Arisnetta now currently in second place, 4 laps to go for Twin Turbo V6. As going up the hill, the Shuffle carry a little more speed. Does look the way he went a bit off. He's lost a bit of speed, but he's still within about maybe 3-4 car lengths of Aris. Pretty close there. Wouldn't be hard to pick up that gap once again. They make the way through into the backstretch. Shuffle's picking up a bit of ground in Aris, only about a car length or so behind. As Arisnetta goes on the tight line down the carousel, makes her way back onto the front stretch, and still holding off here. There's 3 to go for Twin Turbo V6. As the other cars now make their way around turn 1 into 2. Arisnetta seemingly touched a bit of that curve there to get her a bit loose, but she's held off pretty well. Make his way onto the front stretch. Arisnetta, or onto the back stretch. Arisnetta falling through. There's a bit of a gap there. As 2 to go will go as soon as Twin reaches it. He's now making his way across the carousel into the front stretch once more. As we are now 2 to go for Twin Turbo V6. Arisnetta not far behind in second place. She has extended her gap a little bit over Shuffles, about a second there. There's Arisnetta now making her way up the hill onto the last sector. I'm going to watch now to see what Twin is doing. Twin makes his way up to the carousel. There's now going to take the half high line, two inside tires sticking on the lighter asphalt. As a white flag in the air for Twin Turbo V6, we make our way around turn 1. As let's see what progress Twin has been up to. Twin making his way around down the hill, up the hill now for Twin Turbo V6. One more time around as he makes his way up to the chicane. Nice and easy, not needing to push real hard. It is pushing rather well, but it is what it is. East 951 does get the 10-second time penalty, although I think he's going to hold off 4th place regardless. Meanwhile, for second place, as Twin Turbo V6 comes across the line, wins. Shuffles goes wide. Twin wins it. Arisnetta here. Looks like Shuffles picking up ground. It might be developing a photo finish here, but Arisnetta finishes just ahead of Shuffles for 3rd place. East 951 making his way across the line. He's going to be a little close here with Jason, but I think he does have what it takes in order to win this, or at least get 4th place. He comes across the line, wiggles it, and that's really pushing it, because here comes Jason into the final turn. Jason, it smacks the wall. Coming across the final turn. Jason and East just need to finish 10 seconds ahead. We're going to see what that looks like here, the gap between the two. And East will hold off 4th place. Alright, those are your positions. Twin Turbo V6 wins it, and Nico is yet to add a podium here. So, we are going to skip the interviews, but thank you guys for coming to the race. Good job on Shuffles for the pole. And good job on Twin for the win. Again, Twin, we really do need to work out an actual scheme. Arisnet, solid race there. Great move. The energy is gone because there's, like, nobody here. There's nobody. Yeah. No, I'm just slightly frustrated. Admittedly, I'm not that bad. I didn't put a lot of effort into getting this race set up, but it does kind of frustrate. I'm not sad, though. Gotta keep in mind that the Rots mods are gonna come up, and there's a good chance you'll see a lot more drivers, and it could run a pretty good driver count too, anyways. I'm glad the Shuffle got a pole position, though, so, yeah. Thank you, guys. That's gonna close off this recording.